Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, psych defender of the fatherland, off to glorious 1v1 on Twin Beaches. In the north stands GluteusMaximus, fighting for the Wehrmacht of Germany, Deutschland, the 26th Panzerdivision. In the south stands Stephenn, for freedom, democracy, liberty, taking on the role here of the 1st Armoured Division. So we got a Kettenkrad Grenadier start here for GluteusMaximus as he races out there for the fatherland. Stephenn with scouts and riflemen, and we got here Breakthrough, personal favourite of mine as well there. So off we are here. As always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters who help make the Propagandacast a dream possible with their generous and continued support. So 2 thumbs up to all these wonderful and delightful champions of propaganda everywhere. Wait. Anyways, Grenadiers got out here for GluteusMaximus. His Grenadier moving forward with their Carnot TK bolt action rifles. Riflemen heading westwards here. Scouts also at the ready. Second Rifle Squadron over for Stephenn. Looks like he's going to focus on the northern side of the map where the Americans do tend to be more favoured versus the Wehrmacht. Mr. GluteusMaximus rushing his Kettenkrad southwards to swiftly gobble up a good chunk of the map there. Grenadiers in the centre. We got an MG42 following up here for GluteusMaximus and the Wehrmacht, the 26th Panzerdivision, 7th Panzer Grenadier Company. Northern point is the Pioniere. All steady and quiet. Could see the first engagement around the centre here soon enough. There we go. Grenadiers going to spot the rifleman. Shots fired here. Rifleman, of course, turn the favour. Quickly into heavy cover. And the Grenadiers lacking any heavy cover. I think we'll have to withdraw here unless we can bring in some more firepower here soon. Just backs off here, I think, withdrawing rather than keep at it versus Stephenn. I think that's a very smart move. Going for the northern munitions, but skipping the cutoff point. Perhaps intentional. Perhaps a misclick. Always a possibility there. Machine and Gewehr team being able to support the Grenadiers up north here. Scouts might have done a few shots off these. Try to shoot at the Pioneers. Kettenkrad just continues his territory here. He could, of course, plan to go for the communication cables. And okay, we got a second MG42 team here with Breakthrough. Interesting. Typically, you'd go for a lot more Grenadiers faster with this sort of battle group, just because you want those MP40s going. But I imagine then here that GluteusMaximus has other plans versus Stephenn. Just that in particular. Rifle Squad digging right in before the building before the Grenadiers can here. Shot and cheeky play there by Stephenn. Gluteus, though, just occupying the house next door. And then we got up north at Rifle Squad running straight into the MG42 here. Immediately losing Jack there to intense MG42 fire there. And Bob there pulls back the rest of the squad before they become target practice for the German machine gun. The Rifle Squad going in deep and fast. Second machine team moving to support the first one here. Will Stephenn be ready for this? And he's trying to get a few shots in. Machine gun setting up here. Rifle Squad staying out of range of that, but maybe not for much longer here. We'll of course have to see. Some rather entangled engagements here. Southside Kettenkrad grabbing some of the fuel points, so GluteusMaximus here quickly gaining a bit of fuel lead over Stephenn. Of course, Stephenn on the end is going to get a bit of a munitions lead, since both high munitions point are in the north. We got here the Mechanized Support Center for Stephenn. Kettenkrad by the Rifle Squad needs to get out of there fast. Quickly crashes through a fence and several crates. Up north, the Rifle Squad is the MG42 there, and the other one is... where is it actually? Oh, it's pulled all the way back to the base for GluteusMaximus. We got a Panzer Grenadier Company, so 1 Grenadier, 2 MG42 opening here from GluteusMaximus with Breakthrough. That is definitely not the usual kind of opening I'd see out of this battle group. Up north, there's scouts creeping about here, no upgrade here for Stephenn. Utility package, of course, could be a good addition. There we go. I think Stephenn realizes this at the exact same moment. And Panzer Company almost done. We got the mortar team being hauled forward here for freedom, liberty, democracy, a rifleman moving up, and of course versus an opponent with a lot of machine guns, at least multiples. Having a mortar out is pretty good. Kettenkrad swiftly fixed up, thumbs up. Southern field being claimed by the Americans, with northern ones falling into the hands of the Germans. Kettenkrad also rushing northwards, and we got the scouts here grabbing the northern munitions. Machine guns here caught off side of the rifleman, mortifying the Grenadiers here. And we got a relatively fast punch going to push here from GluteusMaximus versus Stephenn. As long as the riflemen don't have BARs, that's a pretty strong choice. Of course, once the BARs start heading, the Panzer Grenadiers do lose a fair bit of utilities. It's a bit of a tricky one there for GluteusMaximus. This is typically why I prefer MP40 Grenadiers, because they're sort of like Panzer Grenadiers, but you get them to the high levels of efficiency faster. At which point they typically actually somewhat outperform. At least briefly. Kettenkrad going for that northern fuel point here. But the first Panzer Grenadiers got around, they're moving up their Sturmgewehrs or MP44s or MP43s. Pretty much more or less all the exact same rifle. It's only, I think, some slight difference between the MP43 and the MP44/Sturmgewehr 44. South side here, Stephenn also making progress there. Rifling about here. Flamethrowers up here for GluteusMaximus Pioneer, and we got a second Panzer Grenadier escort here. So that is a pretty Panzer Grenadier focused strategy here so far from GluteusMaximus. We got paratroopers being dropped in here, so first armored division getting support from the 82nd Airborne here. And not just any support, it's a 30 cal here from Stephenn, right as the Panzers get ready to overrun here. Stephenn positions by the hill. Pioneer support as well here, machine gun providing some support against scouts interfering. Right from there versus the assault rifle wielding Panzer Grenadiers are definitely outmatched. Had they had BARs, I would say they would probably be significantly less outmatched. But lacking BARs, the Sturmgewehr absolutely beats the tar out of them. In the south, Kettenkrad forwards here. Machine gun Gewehr could move up in the center here as well. But the north side here, fresh push from Stephenn and the 1st Armoured. In the south, we also see a push forwards there by Stephenn. Machine there catching the rifle up here on the hill. 30 cal there could also risk getting caught here in the machine gun fire. It does have the height advantage here, and so actually has the upper hand over the MG42 because of that. And we got more stuff airdropping in here for Stephenn. The question is, will it be another 30 cal? Will it be paratroopers? Not too often you see 30 cals being airdropped in one, but there you go. And Stephenn goes incredibly aggressively here versus GluteusMaximus, dropping in a paratrooper squad right on his fuel point outside his base here. Talk about bolting, particularly considering his opponent does have Panzer Grenadiers, so anywhere like nearby, they could easily move up and clear up things. But there you go, 30 cal Rascal being flanked here. Quick bomb grenade here could leave Stephenn in a very bad position there. Go spots and in time retreats, but even then, may not be enough here. And the 30 cal crew is at a high risk of just getting murdered by the Germans. But no, one man lives here. Supremely close for Stephenn in the southeast. Panzer Grenadier spot as well scored here, and Stephenn dashed right to the northern fuel point, right side point neutral, and is actually in the process of seizing it. GluteusMaximus here, definitely feeling the heat from Stephenn, though Stephenn is certainly not getting it all his way either. Need support for those guys for the paratroopers. They are definitely no match here for these hardened gentlemen, and 3 grenadiers have already been sent off to the great pixelated Reich in the sky. So what will be next here? A Pack 40, clearly concerned about the possibility of Stephenn chucking Greyhounds at him or something else. He goes for the Panzerabwehrkanone 40. As for Stephenn, we don't really have any of that as of yet. Certainly a bit all over the place here though. Machine gun flanked by the paratroopers. Need to retreat that one, even then he's got to set it up here and engage the paratroopers. GluteusMaximus is fearless. He does manage to press the paratroopers here and force Stephenn's paras to retreat. But the map control for Gluteus, it definitely appears a bit disorganized. Mortar crew spotted here on the path towards the carve point. Panzerabwehrkanone ready. More rifles setting up there for Stephenn. No tech as of yet. Got the 30 cal being hauled southwards. Pioneers reinforcing healing. No attempt at support arms. Do get the assault gun the upgrade now. MP40 upgrade. They've also got rapid production. Good battle line there. Stephenn's advancing men, though. Chuck perhaps a bit too far here. Big explosion nonetheless. That crate is definitely ruined. In the south here, second wave of German attacks here to gain control of the southern fuel point. Grenadiers backing up the Panzer Grenadier. And we see here that Stephenn's southern rifle squad is easily forced off. Bit surprised we haven't actually seen any BA upgrades yet here for Stephenn whatsoever. They are very much a typical part of the US metagame here. We got a tank depot rush. That could certainly explain it. That's definitely not common either.
Initiating requisition.
Meanwhile, paratrooper at the center here, back up Ralph squad on mortar here. Machine gun though holding up here. Stephenn's advance. First armored division definitely not having things its way. Mortar blasting away at the German positions. May want to split up this machine guns a bit more. Grenadier pushing forwards. Still no MP40C. There go Paris pushing back the Pioneer with a good old grenade in the south 30 cal there. Be on Overwatch here. Stevenson in the position though is crumbling and his assault is kind of going nowhere. Axe still hanging about here. We got machine pod back here, forming up a base of fire, halting Stephen's flank on the center. Ken crowd up north in the south. German infantry also seen poking about here, and that is actually one of his Panzer Grenadier squads. As the L1 charges the positions here by the ruins near the road. Mortar fire there on the machine gun. Definitely that's going to force his hand there. He needs to retreat now, or it's going to be possibly. Yeah, too late actually. Destroy there. Always pay attention to the buildings you stuff your machine guns in. Good kill there for Stephenn. Quite a blow here to GluteusMaximus and the 26th Panzer Division. So, what will be next for Stephenn though? I'm guessing a fast Sherman. Meanwhile, GluteusMaximus here going for the Sturmgeschütz aus G. Thumbs up to that. And the addition there. Panzer Grenadiers here by the ruins. Rauscorp being caught here. Veterans who won the Panzer Grenadier. Definitely very handy for them. Kenkrat got one of the northern munitions points here. May of course want to seize another one. And Gluteus got his Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung G. Early model already. Good to have the Panzers running along there to get them to the front line faster. Quickly hightailing the others out. They're low on health. Better just pull them back, heal them up. I would say that is a fairly sharp move there. And Stephenn airdropping in more paratroopers by all appearances. The first squad hit veterans 1. We actually getting the Browning light machine upgrade there. Another, shall I say, fair deviation there. Most American players would go for bazookas, but it's not like the paratrooper light machine guns are bad at all. They are quite good as well. But it's just, you know, if you could just go for a bunch of barred up riflemen, why bother with the light machine and the paratroopers? Kenkrat there. Knocked out, and I guess Stephen's answer is because he's rushing out tanks. So there you go. Light machine gun paras there. Maybe stopping another paratrooper squad. He could even like go for 2 squads of them. Last squad pushing back the Stug 3G. Should have the pin light machine gun give out. It's not like GluteusMaximus is doing poorly though. I definitely need to upgrade his Stug with the machine gun give out. Mines here, bit of medical crate here dropped up as well there.
Keep up your pace of fire.
Grabbing points here, engineers bring up the center for Stephenn. Paratroopers setting up position on the Grenadiers here, forcing them back. I do feel like GluteusMaximus would benefit from more infantry. I mean, he's got plenty of manpower floating, cause more Stugs. Would also be an excellent idea, but in general, like, you know, some more Panzer Grenadiers, maybe a mechanized assault group. Oh, wait, just something a bit more punchy here in terms of, like, infantry would be great here for GluteusMaximus, and I think would actually pressure Stephenn a lot there and make it harder for Stephenn to maintain, like, good map control. There we go, another Stug there for GluteusMaximus. That is also very nice there. Meanwhile, Stephenn's brought up his Sherman tank, the M4A1, adding a 50 cal there. Charge again there, he's got the sprint there, and we can see the Gluteus just retreats there. His troops are suppressed. They're obviously going to be of no value against the charging Rifle, but they do have the MU42 and the Stugs there, heading back at the riflemen, doing a lot of damage, pin them down to the ground. Sherman forward, got mines here for Stephenn and his engineers, thumbs up. Sherman shoots, bounces off the Stugs frontal armor. Hack shoots, shot there through the Sherman's armor there, crunching through there. Rifle squad still pinned down, Stephenn but clearly too busy there. Takes another loss in the squad here, Sherman being pushed back. And he's actually lacking any anti-tank guns right now. There's actually a lot of free leeway. Oh, and the mine got set off there under the engineers here. Nice shot there by the Stug. And he's also gone here for the Panzer Grenadier Officer Quarters. Both the Stug's Veterans 1 and his Panzer Grenadiers also certainly Veterans 1 now if they weren't already. And of course, they gain experience 25% faster. So it's a pretty good upgrade if you're investing like any amount of resources into the Panzer Grenadier Company. airdropping an anti-tank gun here, so clearly Stephenn is sort of, you know, pushing for like a tank rush, using airborne to, like, you know, corrupt some of the elements, like again using light machine gun paratroopers and then airdropping an anti-tank guns. Interesting choice here. We do get the point blank blast here, which, as you'd like to note, is actually several shots there with increased AoE, though of course if you do move the Stuke, it will get cancelled. Still almost got the anti-tank gun here, wiped it. Grenadiers and Panzer hitting a mine up here, could quickly merge the Grenadiers with the Panzer Grenadier, but the assault still goes up. And Stephenn drops smoke here to try and save his anti-tank gun from the wrath of the Wehrmacht as GluteusMaximus keeps up the offensive here. Rifle moving forward, Sherman on the move as well. Here we got a third Panzer Grenadier squad on the way for GluteusMaximus. That is a pretty heavy commitment of Panzer Grenadiers. I think most Wehrmacht players at the higher ranks probably wouldn't go for. Rather than getting snapped over there by the Stugs, the Sturmgeschütze. Should definitely, I think, move to the north of the because this seems actually busy. And then sort of northeast here. Beach is secured by the Wehrmacht. And we got the third Panzer squad ready here. Rifle squad needs to be dealt with swiftly. Still no BARs probably for Stephenn. Still none. Moving forward here, right down the middle. To of course upgrade the second Sturmgeschütz. And there goes Stephenn, just withdraws here, knowing that without BARs, the Panzer Grenadiers will absolutely beat the stuffing out of the Riflemen for sure. South side, he's trying to break into the beach here, counter-attacking with the Stuke. GluteusMaximus, of course, looks to put a halt here to Stephenn's beach advances. Mine goes off here, killing a few paratroopers, halting Stephenn's assault to the beach slightly there, and the landing zone being seized by the Americans, though. Rifle squad there, push back with machine guns and Sturmgeschütz fire, and the anti-tank is setting up here at the ready. Stuke's going to be charging straight into that. Infantry support, they're going to struggle a bit here. And I think GluteusMaximus makes the right move, which is withdrawing, though not quite as smoothly as he'd probably like to. Another shot than the Sherman. And air recon for Stephenn needs some pioneers to fix up that Stuke fast. But he's got like a sizable infantry force here, so good push from the right angle could do a lot of damage to Stephenn actually. I mean, that's a lot of like DPS on the move here with 3 Panzer Grenadier squads. Plus the bundle grenades. Airburst shells a bit randomly, maybe a misclick here, but Stephenn, not impossible. There he goes, moving forwards. If you remember to make use of the mechanized assault, it can definitely make a bit more of an impact. Of course, the 30 cal does partly halt the assault here. There we go. We do get the mechanized assault ability. Thumbs up. Charging at the 30 cal and the rifle. You can see the Stephenn's positions here by the carve point are rapidly crumbling. Could move in the Stuke in the pack, I think, to assist the assault here now. You got a third Stuke here, by the way, for GluteusMaximus. Eine dritte Sturmgeschütz. As for Stephenn, we've seen grenades there. Not a bad idea. We also got the rifle creeping up here, though I'm still surprised at the complete lack of BARs at this stage.
Enemy forces have claimed our territory.
Smoke then, the Panzer also cuts out the support weapon there. Meanwhile, Rifle squad here caught and rapidly sent running there as 2 Panzer squads with their, well, you know, high ground is definitely not what you'd be on the receiving end on. Stuke charging in. Over that machine gun, it's going to have a little less impact than you probably would like. Sherman forwards here, right into the other Stuke. Shot. Panzer they're holding up behind a bunch of boats. North side is kind of forgotten here, though, by GluteusMaximus. I think it needs to be more pressuring there on Stephenn's economy here. This does mean Stephenn gets a lot of munitions, which means a lot of grenades, potential mines, a lot of stuff. We got the Sherman deploying smoke here. Well, the looks of it was, I think it was the Sherman actually. We need to actually research that ability. Thumbs up. Gluteus there hasn't captured the southern field beach point there. Rifleman grabbing the northern point there on the hill again. Stuke's lining up here above the lighthouse. Machine gun there covered in smoke. Stephenn is a fairly active use of smoke here tactically, so 2 thumbs up on that one. Always worth to watch him, I think, just for partly just his smoke usage there. I think as it shows sort of clear, good understanding how to disrupt your opponent's attack or defense. In particular, in this case, it really messes with GluteusMaximus' ability to coordinate fire effectively against Stephen's attacks forwards. We've got South Charge on this Duke here. Heavy damage to the assault gun there. GluteusMaximus clearly a bit overextended here mentally. Trying to keep up with Stephen's aggressive pace here. Tillerfran and Pack 40 up north here. Panzer's moving forwards again. They're clearly not all healed up here. South got Rapscore charging at the Sturmgeschütz here. Grenades off on the Stug, damaging the engine. GluteusMaximus, though, at this stage is slowly pulling towards a Tiger tank here. And he's gone for another pack. Interestingly enough, I don't think I'd go for a second pack if I was GluteusMaximus. I mean, he's got 3 Stugs and 1 pack. But if we sort of look at like Stephen's force composition, it's clearly not that one Sherman that's really causing GluteusMaximus the issues. It's like the support weapons, it's the machine guns, it's the anti-tank gun, it's the mortar. At this stage for GluteusMaximus, what would actually make a lot more sense would have been a Nebelwerfer rather than a second Pack 40. We got Stephenn calling in more paratroopers. Guessing maybe more light machine guns. But yeah, second Pack 40 here is definitely a questionable choice by GluteusMaximus. Again, Nebelwerfers, even just mortars would provide, I think, a lot more, utility against Stephen's current force composition. Could blast the support weapons, push the infantry away, or with the mortar could deploy smoke, get flares off, which could provide with extra line of sight, and a better idea of how to attack and deal with Stephenn. Pack 40 doesn't really do any of the things he really needs to deal with at the moment. So, the second Pack 40 here, in particular, he's got like 3 Stugs, strikes me as a fairly peculiar move. I mean, it's probably in part because, he's thinking he's stalling for, Tiger tanks. He just needs, more tool to stall with, which is, historically in companies too, double anti-tank guns. But, he's got 3 Stugs and a pack. I feel like he's got enough there. Again, mortars and Nebelwerfers, even maybe, more infantry would probably serve him a lot better here. Hell, there's even the more spicy option of a 251.5 tank upgrading to the Stummel. Okay, Stephenn here going for paratroopers with bazookas. Could breach if he wanted to. Guess he doesn't. And clearly in there doesn't. Panzer pushing forwards against the paratroopers with the light machine guns Vessi 2. Bazooka chaps there. Ooh, Saddle Charge actually trying to bait them into breaching the building, and then obviously didn't take the bait. Grenades almost taking out the paratrooper squad here. Pretty fierce fight here. And, well, certainly some free real estate opened up here by the beach. And that was Stephen's plan all along.
We have lost control of a victory point.
Anyways, North Grenadiers route squad here. South route going for the Southern Victory Point. Still hasn't grabbed the Southern Fuel Point. Definitely feels like that GluteusMaximus right now is getting very passive and very defensive as he's trying to hold up for the Tiger tank. To an extent, I understand it, but I feel like in some regard he's just giving Stephenn too much free room to do whatever he wants to, which is typically not what you want to be doing. Panzer coming in here, got the pack supporting. Stugs are being steadily repaired there. Very close to that Tiger tank though, which I imagine should hopefully lead to a more aggressive phase again in GluteusMaximus. Sherman blasts his own guy. My God, Carl! You hit her own? No, they were totally Nazis. Nazis. Actually, he was a former communist. See? What? Panzer's about to get wiped out. Good shot from the Stug. Stug that takes a return hit here up north, fighting for the Northern Vic Grenadiers with the Ralph squad here. Still MP40 is impressive enough, but now GluteusMaximus. Oh, he forgot to go for Blitzkrieg. So it's actually further off here for the Tiger tank. And now Stephen's pulling the Hellcat. Stug down. Failed to support the Stugs here properly. Pack setting up here. Oriole getting outmaneuvered here as the Hellcat charges in here. Bit of a messy situation here though for GluteusMaximus here again. Partly again, I think the sort of lack of action here for GluteusMaximus lulled him into full sense of security, and then suddenly Stephenn gets aggressive, and suddenly things are less great. And there you go, bombing strike wrecks the Pack 40 there entirely. Suddenly he's lost 2 Stugs and a Pack 40 in a matter of seconds. So there's definitely, I think, a bit of sense of here that GluteusMaximus at this stage is starting to get a bit overwhelmed by Stephenn. Or perhaps he's just struggling with what to do at this stage as the Wehrmacht. It's also not possible.
The enemy have taken
Impossible, I mean, blah. It's just, again, like, a bit uncertain as to how to approach from here. Some players do have these phases of the game where they just, when they're playing with a faction, they're just not entirely sure of where they want to go. Particularly the less experienced players. And this could very well be the case. I mean, he wants to go for the Tiger, but there's a lot of decisions to be made before he actually gets to the Tiger, and it might be those decisions here that GluteusMaximus at the moment could be having a slightly harder time with. Need to fix up the Stug, obviously. Got a mortar on the way there. That's still not a bad idea, but I think it would help him out, more if he'd gone for it sooner. At least still has his 3 Panzer Grenadier squads, 2 of which are Veteran 2. In fact, 1 is pretty close to Veteran 3. Smoke being plotted again by Stephenn, nice and tactically. Hellcatcher being fixed up with Stephenn. Wonder if we can look at a 76mm upgrade here for the Sherman. Obviously a bigger gun. Panzer goes to the Raft Squad here. Bit of Sturmgewehrfeuer. Stephenn heading northwards here with his light machine gun paratroopers. Sturmgeschütz in your repairs. We got Panzer the Raft Squad here. We got a bit of shooting, bang bang there. Mortar joining in the fun. Got the German mortar here close to the front line now.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
Panzer they're just falling back. Up north, Shoney pushing into the northern beaches. Another Stug here. Rises like round the corner for the Tiger. I think he realized at that point that would be a bit silly. No, wait, what? He's going for the Panzer Company? What? Yeah, I definitely feel like there's this, sense of, uncertainty right now going with GluteusMaximus. Strategically, tactically, I think in some regard he's actually done fairly well, but strategically, to an extent, he's kind of dropping the ball here versus Stephenn a bit. Again, there's this, distinct sense of, I don't entirely know what to do. And Stephenn is just exploring, and we got Bulldozer Blade out here showing the 105mm shown, by the way. Fun fact about that one, that's actually meant as a replacement for the Scott in terms of artillery support there and sort of short mid ranges. Fun fact. Bulldozer moving forwards here. Smoke deployed again. Good use of smoke by Stephenn. 2 thumbs up. The Hellcat following up here. Stuga team Veteran 2 very nice here, but the situation for him is getting pretty awkward. He can now call the Tiger tank in, but again he can't end up delaying it somewhat here. Stug taking nasty hits here, pulling through the smoke. Pioneers robbed out. Huge blow here to GluteusMaximus. Stephenn gets the Stug killed. Panzer pushing forwards. He is very close to the Tiger tank at this stage, obviously, but he can't end up delaying it with the Panzer Company in terms of fuel. Pack also wiped out here. Huge blow to the Germans. South side here we got Panzer Grenadiers moving forwards, but he is very close to the Tiger tank. Very close. And Stephenn here perhaps doesn't quite follow up on this success as fast as he possibly could. There is a chance here the Tiger tank could turn things around. Watch for GluteusMaximus. He's also getting a bit more active on the southern beaches. Finally, though, we'll say it's only took him a while to get there. Only took him a while. Stephenn charging the base here. Pack 40 again here for GluteusMaximus. Machine gun wiped out here. Going for that base, but he's so close to that Tiger tank. He's ever so close. And Stephenn enough did not destroy that Pack 40 there. That is arguably a bit of an oversight. Pack 40 ready here. Bunkers being wrecked. And the concrete is just crumbling down there. Stephenn getting to work on that remaining Pack 40 there. Really bad spotting for GluteusMaximus. Perhaps we're going in a mortar, definitely needs to get out. And there we go. Tiger tank finally out for GluteusMaximus. The counterattack has begun. Can GluteusMaximus use this Titan, this behemoth of Kruppstahl, to turn the tide for Svaziland? So pulling forward over the Tiger tank. On the Raft Squad. In the southeast, Stephenn quickly moving his armor to force away the Germans with the 26th Panzerdivision. Paratrooping about the Tiger tank setting out here. Mortar fire there about the wrapping up a northern point. Sending in his Panzers and the Tiger tank. But now most of the map is pretty much American at this stage here. Rifle Squad, by the way, is still not upgraded. Stephen's just been pouring all his fuel there, more or less, into tanks. And there you go, paratroopers routed. Hellcat there being fixed up, Sherman being hauled back. And we got here the specialized munitions upgrade for Stephenn. Not a bad pick there, though. I was actually expecting the 7.6mm upgrade to help deal with the Tiger tank. And you can see there, GluteusMaximus 26 Panzer Sean charges 14 into the beaches. Once more, pairs with the bazookas are absolutely powerless against the assault rifle wielding Panzergrenadier. Of course, with the Panzer Company, of course, you can follow up maybe some Panzer Force down the road, but also some Starsturm. Which in particular, considering Rifleman has, like, you know, no bars for his rifleman, would be a really good idea, I think, possibly. Of course, he still needs to deal with the enemy armor. But that said, Stephenn here is splitting out his forces fairly thinly, which would make the Tiger tank even stronger here. It's going to be difficult, like, to stop a Tiger tank with single-handed tank, and unless GluteusMaximus messes up. Sherman strikes on the Panzer down by the beaches. Tiger tank, though, needs to be used a bit more actively here, but clearly there's still a certain amount of hesitancy for GluteusMaximus. And he's going for another Pack 40 here. He's clearly concerned about enemy armor here. Great shot on the Sherman there by the Tiger tank, shearing off basically a third of his health. There you go, great shot from the Pack 40. Stephenn with a bombing strike here on the Pack. Can GluteusMaximus get out there in time? No! He's not paying attention, I think, or he's not realizing what's going to happen here. Smoke deployed as well. Bombing run clears out the Pack crew. And a lot of the local foliage. Gluteus needs to pick up the offense here. Needs to believe in the power of Deutschland and Kruppstil. He's clearly hesitant to do so, despite wielding a Tiger tank. We got 176 with 276. Got that Tiger tank rolling ahead for Swaziland.
Pioneers are reporting for duty. We're taking Panzer fire here.
Good shot on the bulldozer Sherman there. 105mm Sherman. Hellcat there hanging back. And again, Stephenn here slightly splitting up his forces does help out GluteusMaximus. And there you go, Hellcat being caught with the anti-tank guns. Almost got the Sherman there as well. Tiger tank though staying a fair amount of damage. He could pop Blitzkrieg to like give the Tiger tank an extra boost here. Almost got the Hellcat. Sherman down. Got the Hellcat. These are huge losses for Stephenn.
5 command points available.
Massive. Like, he just lost a good portion of his armored forces. More crucially, he lost the part that can actually damage the Tiger tank, even remotely consistently. The Sherman with 105mm gun, it's not going to do it. Of course, there's still the anti-tank gun, but, you know, good flank with the Panzergrenadiers, and that's going to possibly fall into the Germans' hands. Still, GluteusMaximus needs to keep pushing, he needs to get moving. He also needs more pioneers, and he is realizing this. Panzer moving up here, caught by the 30 cal. Up north, he's using 2 squads at the same time. That is definitely inefficient. We got another Hellcat out here. He obviously wants that Tiger tank dead. This could lead Stephenn to maybe make a mistake that he thinks he just quickly destroy the Tiger tank. Yep, looks like Stephenn's going to go for that move here, right into the double packs. Packs kind of blocking the line of fire here, and there you go. Panthers off the Grenadiers, and with that, the Hellcat goes down. Close save here for GluteusMaximus. Stephenn's attempt to just go for a coup de grace and win the match did not go out quite the way he hoped for. And with this, GluteusMaximus is still in the fight. Grenadiers bring forwards. Tiger tank there, need a fixing. Grenadiers pushing forward to run to the paratroopers here. A mix of fairly elite infantry backed up as riflemen, less elite for sure. Stielhandgranaten being chucked into the midst of the paratroopers, but they are quick to get their way out of that one. Need to get troops moving, need to get that mortar as well close to the front line as well here. Tiger tank there being fixed up. Punch goes to the rifle squad. As if any of them veteran free still. Almost there, but still not quite. Like a grenades being chucked, but they're dodged. And there you go, veterans who flee punch. We've got pineapple grenades being chucked in large numbers. They're forcing GluteusMaximus to fall back there. Tiger tank is almost good to go. I think he needs to commit it now or never. Panzer being caught with 105 the Sherman there, ripping through the Panzergrenadier. And the bunker goes down inside his base. The Tiger tank is good to go. Needs to just get moving for Swaziland. He needs to push forwards. There we go. Stephenn with another Hellcat. We got an airdrop there on the center by the looks of it as well there. Hellcat spotting the Tiger tank. Tiger tank in the spots back, gets off great shot. We got munitions, we got medical supplies being dropped in the center here. Sherman then being bombarded by the packs as well here. Mines being laid down. I feel like you should just push ahead with the Tiger tank because the Bulldozer Sherman is not really a big fit here to the Tiger. There we go, Sherman down. Tiger tank withdrawing.
Enemy forces have secured all victory points.
Needs to get moving. We got the Panzer with advancing down the main road here. Mortars machinery position. Panzer pushing forwards there. Good sprint forwards here. Stephenn center unprepared for this rush. And, oh, he could actually grab the munitions. And he does. He grabs all of Stephenn's munitions. His hubris becomes the bounty for the Wehrmacht. 2 thumbs up. But he needs to get that Tiger tank moving. He needs to get his other stuff moving. Schnell.
You need AT support? Tiger reporting. What do you have for us?
Not much into there if he's not moving. Needs to head southwards there as well. Needs to head northwards. He just needs to move. He's got 51 versus 276 here. He's also got breakthrough, so he can actually grab a lot of territory fast, but he just isn't. Meanwhile, here we got another Hellcat for Steam. He's just churning them out here. So many Hellcats to try and take out that Tiger tank. Could work the machine a bit further here.
Enough to see us to the end of the day?
Troops sitting out there. Could consider some Starstorm here. Certainly recommend that. Of course, he might be planning a Panther 4 or maybe a Sturmpanzer to assist instead. We'll have to see, but he needs to get moving. He's down to 38 versus 276 for Stephenn. Tiger tank's almost good to go. Panzer moving forwards, and again, ace level. North England's Raft Squad still no BA upgrades there for Stephenn, of course, at this point. I imagine the fuel in Stephenn's mine is being used for slightly, you know, bigger purpose in mind, which is taking down that Tiger tank. BAR's obviously going to do absolutely arse. And against the Tiger tank, so, you know, makes sense, like, just use all the fuel he has now on Hellcats. But the Hellcats are exploding. Bun grenades are being chucked off. Alongside regular grenades here. Heavy fighting from the Northern Hill. 30 cal there. Could actually use it up with the Tiger tank here. But I guess he's just paying attention. Now it's from the south here. Pioneer spot the Raft Squad by the Lighthouse here. There you go. 30 cal now in trouble with the Tiger tank. Down to just one guy. Feverishly firing his machine gun at the Tiger tank in the hopes they'll somehow lead to Tom Hanks' miracle. Of course, that doesn't happen. Hellcat there tries sneaking a hit, but instead is rebuffed. Up north here, punches the paratroopers here. Mines going off in the Panzergrenadier. They're losing Ludwig a leg. 30 cal they could also be seized here by him. Grenades pushing back the paratroopers up north in just one squad here to hold the north side alongside the anti-tank gun. But a good push for the infantry, and particularly merge the grenades for the Panzergrenadiers here. Could see Stephenn's hills by the position by the hill crumble. Going for a Panther 4 there. GluteusMaximus keeps up the assault here. Stephenn might actually lose this. Like, he definitely underestimated things a bit. They got a bit too cocky, and now just GluteusMaximus is swinging back hard here on a near, not quite Manstein level. That might be a bit too generous, but, you know, pretty fiercely. Let's go with Ardennes level. Around the southern point here. Panther 4 good to go. Another push for the Hellcat here. Right into the packs. Anti-tank's about to go out to the Panzergrenadier here. He's got 2 squads. In fact, all 3 Panzergrenadier squads are now ace level. That's, like, pretty good. Not very often. Also makes them fairly tough. They're with 130 health. Definitely a lot more than what the Rifleman has.
Beginning research as ordered.
Rifleman sent running. Sherman ready again here. Panzer there straight ahead. I think he just ordered them to attack the anti-tank and then forgot about them. He's got 2 victory points. He's actually got all 3 here versus Stephenn. We're also helping to get the northern munitions. Maybe lay down some mines here and there. German rolling forwards. And of course, minesweepers would also be a very good addition. Steam set off his own mine. Rather unfortunate. Pack heading in here. Finds the gut point there. Pack shooting into the side of the Sherman. Fun fact, the Germans only had 1 battalion of Tiger tanks full of it. That was the 504th Schwere Panzerabteilung. Armored sights goes in the Panther 4. 2 thumbs up. Easily one of my favorite upgrades. So cool. And also, of course, providing a bit of protection on the side there. Against a variety of sources. Of course, as the war went on, they would actually on the Panther 4s go to wire mesh because they were initially intended for anti-tank rifles, but they still work as bazookas, but at the same time, turns out you don't need like full steel plates against bazookas, you just need enough to detonate, and that was wire mesh. They'd actually use wire mesh side skirts on the Panzer IVs. Interesting enough, they did not use them on the Stugs. Probably also having the case of the Panther IV, they were already like heavily overloaded, so they need to lighten the weight on those in particular. However they could. Hellcat heading northwards here. In the center we got Peregrine 14 MG42. Still hasn't grabbed at 30 cal, I feel like it's no sign. We got a bombing run here from Stephenn on the MG42. He's going all in here. Ooh, and it misses. Panther 4 with the exposed, definitely great for Stephenn. That's great. He has the GluteusMaximus Titan, though, blasting away there. Parrots going for the Pack 40 crews here. Punch going to need to push what they're going to do here. 25 points left here. He got the northern point. Counter-tank crews there being ripped apart. Parrots getting mauled by the Tiger tank. Paratroopers being slaughtered. It's just death everywhere here. Stephenn's men, though, are getting annihilated. And he goes for the southern victory point here. GluteusMaximus knows he needs to push forwards. And there we go. We do have the 761 upgrade now here for Stephenn's Shermans. Adding a significant amount of penetration there, obviously. Up north, fight for the point here going on. Grenades off here. Rauschkolb can push back. He could. He does ammunition for breakthrough, which could help, of course, grab points faster. More pioneers here for GluteusMaximus to replace ones lost. Panther 4, they're being repaired. Fun fact about the Panther 4 with the armored sides is actually commonly mistaken for the Tiger tank. Due to the weight silhouette, sort of like, to the untrained viewer, kind of makes it look like a Tiger tank. Fun fact. Sherman forts here. Pack caught here. Ace by the way, by the Sherman there. Tiger tank Panther being sent south to deal with the Sherman. We got 10 points left. Stephenn keeps up the pressure. GluteusMaximus is just, I think, again, struggling here to keep up with the intense pressure of Stephenn here. We got the GG. Rushing for the beaches here. Stephenn's just going to occupy here. Sacrifice will arrive when he has to. 3 points left. Panther 4 here versus the paratroopers. Actually using focus fire. Thumbs up. It's actually a bit of a knocked a bit, but there you go. GG. Game over. Hell of a fight here between Stephenn and GluteusMaximus here. That said, there was definitely some hints. Of course, they indicate that GluteusMaximus definitely was a bit below the level of Stephenn, but he was still able to keep up good fight for the most part. Part of the issue was, again, around that mid-game area there, where he just sort of didn't know what to do, and then I seemed just to push in hard. Then, for example, went for more packs, but he probably needed more needle there for even more infantry, or just another machine gun, to be honest. Like, just anything but another pack here. And then Sim went in, and even then, like, he had the other packs, they just weren't able to support each other, or the Stooks, and so things went very sideways rapidly. But also, other times where just, he needed to be more aggressive, attack, and he just, sat about there, waiting for Steam to do something. I feel like those were some of the areas again where there could have been a bit more activeness there. Plus, once he had this up, maybe some Starstruppen could help out us a bit there as well there. So some room there. Of course, Steam, of course, underestimated his opponent at times. GluteusMaximus was able to exploit that. So, again, while he definitely has more room to work on, I think there are some areas where GluteusMaximus does, show a glimmer of like potential of becoming a stronger and better player. Otherwise, I don't think he'll be able to keep up for Steam for that long anyway. So. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. Consider supporting the Propagandacast by donating or pledging on Patreon. Links are in the description. Every bit helps me keep this channel running. So thank you all for joining in, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye, everyone.